It's time for the Margin Matters Minute with Money Man Jason Brown.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's tax time once again. It's that time of year that everybody does not look forward to, but it's also the time of year that everybody crosses their fingers and hopes that we get a nice, sizable tax refund or tax return, if you will. Now, this year, it seems like every year in the news, the articles and the headlines say, expect a lower tax return this year, and this year is no different. I'm seeing headlines that are saying something to the effect of most people are going to get, on average, somewhere around a $2,000 tax return, which is still pretty good, I think. So again, it's probably a little bit lower than years past because of there's no more pandemic stimulus money floating around. So this is just going to be a normal year. But in this video, I'm going to share my top 5 things that you can do with your tax return money, assuming that you're going to get some, like the majority of Americans do. And stay tuned to the end of the video, and I'll share what me and my family are going to do with our tax return money this year, and I'll also share what we did with ours last year as well. So here we go. Top 5. Number 1, and these are in random order. Number 1, pay down debt. Yes, that seems to be a very popular choice with tax return money, is just pay off any outstanding debt. You might have credit card debt, student loan debt. Maybe you want to pay down, home mortgage a little bit more. Maybe you have a car loan that you want to kind of pay down, get ahead on. Any type of debt you have, consumer debt. This is always a good decision to get out of debt, and especially with those high interest rates that are compounding on you. So that is always a noble choice to use your tax return money for. Number 2, build an emergency fund. Yes, that's right, folks. If you don't have an emergency fund, which I believe, you see these headlines, 25% of Americans have $0 in a savings account, all those crazy headlines, majority of Americans can't come up with $400 cash for an emergency, stuff like that. This is your chance. If you get several $1,000s back in a tax return, hey, maybe put some of that into an emergency savings account. And basically what that does is, an emergency fund is insurance against debt. So you have some cash on hand. That way, if an emergency happens, you don't have to go swipe the credit card. You don't have to pay 20 to 30% interest rates on these crazy credit cards now. So that's going to help you, avoid situations like that. So that's an idea. Build an emergency fund. Number 3 reason or idea to use your tax return money on is invest. There's lots of different things to invest in. If you have retirement, 401k stuff at work, or if you have like an IRA or a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA or a brokerage account or anything like that, if you buy stocks, there's lots of different ways to invest money. Maybe you want to, invest in somebody's business, or maybe you want to start a business of your own. There's lots of different ways to invest. So this could be an idea. If you end up getting several $1,000s back in your tax return money, you can maybe research some ideas of ways to invest. A lot of people are into the cryptocurrencies. I myself, I don't understand it, so I stay away from it. But if that's your thing, that's another thing. There's lots of different ways to invest money in hopes of growing it. So that's an idea. Moving on, number 4, the of my top 5 things that you can do with your tax return money. Number 4 is going to be donate or give money away. Are you passionate about different organizations, different nonprofits? Do you have a church home that you want to support, or really anything in your community? It could be anything. It could be an individual who is maybe in need of support, that maybe they're facing some medical bills or something like that, or a family member that might need some support, or any kind of cause that you're passionate about, that you want to support, and now you've got some extra money with your tax return, and you can make a donation to that organization or cause. So there's an idea. So something like that, help somebody else out. So the last one, and this is the one that we're probably all want to do, is number 5. what to do with your tax return money is spend it. Now, now that's what we all want to do. That's the fun thing. Just go out and blow it all. But there's no shame or guilt in spending your tax return money. Now, I would strongly advise not blowing all of it. Most financial experts are going to tell you, if you get $2,000 back, they'll say 10%. They call that your blow money. Go ahead and blow 10%. So that would be if you get $2,000 back, $200. You want to go buy yourself something. That's totally acceptable. No one's going to judge you for that. So there might be some other things that you maybe have been waiting to spend money on. Maybe a vacation you've been wanting to go on, or something like that. Now you've got the extra money to do it. So perfect. So you can do that as well. So now I'm going to share with you guys what I'm doing, or me and my family are doing with our tax return money for this year. So this year, every year you do the tax return, it's always you have no idea what's going to happen. I've gotten such a wide range. I've gotten in the last 5 or 6 years, I've gotten between $1,000 and $4,500 back. So there's really no way to really predict what you're going to get, because they change the tax codes every single year. So this year we ended up getting way more than I was expecting. We ended up getting just under $3,500. Now that's federal and state. I live in Georgia, so I got a state tax return as well. So we ended up getting about $3,500. So what we're doing this year is actually we're going to fully fund our emergency fund, because our emergency fund has over the last year has been completely depleted due to various life happenings that we've had to use most of our savings for. So our goal this year is just to build that back up. So we're probably going to put 90% at least back into that savings account emergency fund, which sounds pretty boring, but that's what we're going to do. Now, last year was a lot more exciting. I'm going to share this. So last year, we spent it. Last year, we've been wanting to take the kids to Disney World, and it's not cheap to go to Disney World. So we have 2 young boys, and we wanted to take them on their first Disney World trip. So we used the majority of our tax return money on our Disney World trip to Orlando, Florida. Now, last year we got a little bit less. We ended up getting about around $2,500 last year. So again, we used most of that, probably all of it, to pay for the Disney trip, so we wouldn't have to go into debt on that vacation. So that's what we did with that. We had planned to do that for quite some time. We had been planning that trip for well over a year. And of course, it got delayed many, many times because of the pandemic. But we were finally able to go, and we had a nice time. So those are just some of my quick ideas and thoughts on what to do with your tax return money. Remember, you can do any of those 5 things. You can do a combination of those 5 things. You might have your own ideas. Put it in the comments below. Hey, what are you guys going to do with your tax return money? Or what have you done in the past that maybe proved beneficial or proved to be a good idea for you and your financial situation? I would love to hear any story that you want to share. And I'll just leave you with the one final thought. Whatever you decide to do, or maybe you're still trying to decide what you want to do, just always remember to say to yourself, what is the wise thing to do? That's what I do. Just what would be the wise decision to do here? So again, hopefully you get a nice chunk of change like the majority of Americans do, and you can do something beneficial to you and your family. So until next time, this is Jason Brown saying thanks so much for checking in, and to always remember my favorite saying, it's not the amount of money you make, but the margin that matters the most. See you next time.